Are you considering a move to Seattle? And you might be wondering, what are the best neighborhoods for my family and my lifestyle? It's one thing to kind of scroll through looking at homes online, but what are the neighborhoods like? Where am I actually going to be living? That's the question you need answered, right? So in this video, we're going to explore the coolest neighborhoods in Seattle, according to your uber cool real estate agent, Emily, right? And we're going to look at plenty of places that offer vibrant communities, excellent schools, and other amenities. And we're also going to talk about commute, because that's a pretty big deal out here. And whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or looking to retire in a scenic spot, maybe be close to your grandkids, there's something for everyone here, and all price ranges too, starting at about $300,000 for a condo. So stick around as we dive into the neighborhoods that could be your next home. Hi, I'm Emily Cressey, your go-to real estate agent here in Seattle, and my mission is to help individuals and families find the perfect place to call home in this beautiful city. Seattle is known for its diverse neighborhoods, each one with its own unique character, charm, flavor, and today we'll be covering the top neighborhoods, including Ballard, Capitol Hill, West Seattle, Queen Anne, and Lake Union. So let's get started. All right, so Ballard is a historic maritime neighborhood located just north of downtown Seattle along Puget Sound on saltwater. It's west, and it is known for its trendy shops and eateries, as well as its marinas with actual seagoing vessels that go up to like Alaska and do crab fishing and things like that. So they're real fishermen settled this area, and some of them are still there. But what I have been finding is that a lot of those quaint little fishermen houses and bungalows are getting torn down and replaced with townhomes and condos. They're going high density, and it's created a huge problem with parking. They are trying to go for walkability. They do have really good bus service here. And a lot of people live here. It has been, I would say probably 15 years ago, it was the super hip place to live where everybody was moving to. It's gotten pretty crowded and a little more expensive, so it's not as much of the destination that it once was. Also, Seattle has fallen on a little bit harder times. Ballard put in like a very controversial homeless people apartment building. And as with many neighborhoods in Seattle, there are problems, or there are a higher percentage of homeless people there and that type of a thing. My sister actually lived in Ballard, and they would find drug needles in the park. So it's not all roses, but it's certainly a good place to consider. Really a nice combination of close to Seattle, downtown Seattle, affordability, and a sense of community there. They have the Ballard Farmers Market. It's where my sister took her first date with my now brother-in-law. They got married, so it's a fun place to go and a fun place to hang out. Bread stores, tea stores, coffee shops, florists, a lot of mom and pops there as well, and a big pub scene. So there are definitely lots of folks that love Ballard, choose to live in Ballard. You'll see a lot of new construction options in Ballard, and you might be able to get some good deals on resale. I toured a really nice Ballard resale recently. I think it was, I don't remember what the price is, so we'll see if we can find it and put it on here. But they tend to go vertical, so you'll be in a townhouse or a townhouse style home that may not have any attached walls, but might be 3 or 4 stories tall. And a lot of these have really cool rooftop decks and not a lot of yard to maintain. So you have definitely a more urban feeling lifestyle. I sold a property down there to some ladies last year, and they had a dog, and they just wanted to be able to go out, meet their neighbors, and get settled into the community. And I think Ballard really delivered on that. Parking is going to be your biggest problem here. A lot of the new construction only comes with one parking spot for your car. There's a lot of electric hookups, so if you have an electric vehicle, that's good, that's fine. But if you have 2 vehicles, that's more of a challenge. because the street parking gets really full and it can be hard to find a place to park that's close to where you're trying to go. So that's just something to be aware of. And some of the condos have no parking whatsoever. So if you look at a development and you see like a couple of the condo units are like $80,000 cheaper than the other ones, but otherwise seem similar, it's probably because those units do not have any parking at all. So if you plan to be a bus rider or a bicycle rider or something like that, and you don't need a car, you can definitely save yourself some money. But if you're a 2-car family, just be sure that you really have a plan for how you're going to handle your vehicle situation. Ballard is really known for its trendy shops and eateries. It has the Ballard Locks, which is a place where the lake connects to the ocean. It's like a water elevator. You can go there and watch the boats kind of go up and down on this thing. They have Golden Gardens Park, which is a beach park. It has volleyball, it has fire pits, it has actual sand. A lot of our Washington beaches are rocky, but they have sand on this one. And so that's really nice. Playground for the kids. There are galleries and art studios. If you've heard of Dale Chihuly, the famous glass artist, he actually had his studio here. What else? Good schools, parks, community events that foster a strong sense of belonging. So a lot of people really like Ballard, and people of all ages are over there having a great time. The second place I want to highlight is Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is Seattle's cultural hub, and it's a hot spot for nightlife along with Belltown. Capitol Hill is across I-5 freeway to the east from downtown Seattle, so it has really good views of the Seattle skyline. And then if you like crest the hill and go over further east, there's some really nice neighborhoods back there as well with views of Lake Washington and access to Lake Washington. So Capitol Hill is a really great community, and you could actually walk or bike into downtown Seattle if you were determined. But if not, if you're not that determined, they also have light rail access now as well as bus service there. This Capitol Hill is actually where I used to go with my friends when I was in high school. I don't know if my parents knew that we were there or not, but we would go there, like hang out, go to a movie, go to like a Mongolian grill buffet type of restaurant, go get ice cream. There's a lot of eating when I was in high school, I guess. And my parents would give me $20 and it would last the whole night. So it worked out. But it can't, there can be, you know, with nightlife, there can be noise, there can be people out late at night, there can be people who are intoxicated, etc. So Broadway is kind of the main drag there. And if you like the idea of being able to walk to a bar or pubs and clubs and things like that, then that's something that might be a big plus for you. And if that is not appealing, then that could be a problem. I would also say that there are a lot of hospitals in that area. So Capitol Hill is next to what they call First Hill or Pill Hill. There's Virginia Mason Hospital. There's Harborview Hospital, which is the big level 1 trauma center and psych center for the area. So if you are a doctor or in the medical community, a nurse or something, or I don't know, a janitor that works at a hospital, etc., anesthesiologist, if you're some of those things, then there could be a lot of employment opportunities, physical therapists, a lot of employment opportunities in that area, and a really great commute to downtown Seattle. You would have relatively easy access to get over the 520 bridge or the I-90 bridge going east to Bellevue, but I would think that the primary benefit of being there is that that's very proximate to downtown Seattle. Some really cool older Victorian homes, duplexes if you wanted to house hack or something like that. We have a lot of options in Capitol Hill for big old homes that have been converted into rentals. And if you wanted something new, there are a lot of townhomes going in. Again, these are going to be like $1 million, maybe 700, no, probably 800 and up. But you're going to have maybe a 2-bedroom condo with 3 stories and a rooftop deck. Maybe not get parking, but they have a really good walk score for these places. So I had a client that really wanted, his goal was to be able to go places on a scooter or a Lime bike, or else take public transportation and not have to have his own car. And so if that was what a lifestyle goal for you, then this would be a really good location to consider as well. One really big feature of Capitol Hill is Volunteer Park. There's a cool greenhouse conservatory there that my sister actually did her wedding pictures there in this park. And I think they grow orchids in the conservatory. You can go in and take a look at those. But I was having coffee with some clients that were thinking about making an offer on a home that we had just showed on Capitol Hill. And so we were sitting in the coffee shop kind of reviewing paperwork and the numbers, what would this look like? And there were so many families with kids, lots of people with strollers walking over to Volunteer Park. It really felt like kind of the Sunday morning commute type of thing. So it was really nice to see all the different people who were out and about at that time. There are also a lot of people with pets. Actually, Seattle has more dogs than children and more cats than dogs. But when it comes to dogs, Capitol Hill actually has a pretty good pet culture, and they have a doggy daycare there. I was actually looking at buying this business that was a doggy daycare business right there in Capitol Hill. It seemed to be doing well. It's kind of squeezed into a basement. They're always short on space. Everything is very crowded and expensive in proximity to downtown, but it was nice to know that that was an option for people with dogs. And a lot of the employers are pet friendly as well. So if you can get your pet to work and bring him to work with you on some days, and then he can go to the doggy daycare and run around and see his friends on the other days. That's definitely a big thing that's available here in Seattle. But families here appreciate the strong community focus and the proximity to downtown, making it easy to enjoy both urban conveniences and a welcoming neighborhood atmosphere. Okay, so next we're going to talk about neighborhood number 3, which is West Seattle. West Seattle is a neighborhood that is known for its stunning waterfront views and laid-back vibe. I have had several clients reach out to me on this channel specifically because they saw my West Seattle videos. I'll try to link to it here. But I have a nice West Seattle video tour, and I'm walking along the beach and finding wild blackberries just growing there, eating them. Mwah. This is called Chef's Kiss. Mwah. My husband told me that was like a emoji. My phone does not have that one, and we had a fight about it, but I think he might be right. So there's actually things called a convergence zone in Seattle, like around Northgate. My mom would say when she was driving home, from downtown Seattle to our house in Lake Forest Park, whenever she would cross through the Northgate area, it'd be cloudy and start to rain. But whenever I go to West Seattle, it's kind of sunny and breezy, and it feels very fresh. There's a little salt water in the air, or salty, from the ocean. And so I think they might get more sun or breezes or something that just keeps that area really clear and fresh. It's almost, there is a beach community there, down by the water. There's just a couple blocks of houses that are close, walkable to the beach. There's a trail along the sandy beach, some restaurants that go for beer, ice cream, that kind of a thing. And you feel like you're on vacation. Yeah, it just has a really nice, relaxed vibe. A lot of people like to bicycle around there, and I think you'll have a really good time if you go out there. It's not necessarily a huge destination except in the summer when you're going to be walking along the beach. I used to go there for cross country in high school. I would go to Lincoln Park, and that's right, but there's a ferry. The Fauntleroy ferry is there, and this big woodsy park, and I would always get lost in the woods, and I would be running by myself on the trail and lose the trail and go the wrong way, and then see my friends through the trees and kind of come crashing through the bushes trying to get back on track. But they have a pool there as well, which is kind of a nice amenity, and they have a lot of trails and parks that they're trying to connect together, but with walking trails, so you can go from park to park, which I think is a nice idea. Obviously, it's on the beach. Salty's on Alki is a really popular restaurant there. That's where my uncle went for his retirement party from work, and where my mom and dad take him out for lunch for his birthday every year. So it's kind of a not uber expensive, but a little bit higher end seafood restaurant where you can sit and be on the water and have views of the beach. They also have this cool water taxi, which is like a walk-on ferry. You wait on this dock, and the ferry comes and you walk on. It costs $5, and it'll take you into downtown Seattle. So if you need to go downtown for work or like a show or a ball game or something like that, it's a really convenient way to get there, especially if you don't want to drive your car, because traffic can be bad and also parking can be really expensive in downtown Seattle. So that's a really nice option to kind of bypass all of those things. So if you buy a house, you can buy $1 million house that's kind of a bungalow or a fixer-upper with a view of the water in West Seattle, and find one that has a lot of sun and a nice yard. It'll probably be on a hill, but that's okay. It should be really a great time over there. I like the vibe. I find it very pleasant and chill and relaxing, which is nice. Okay, next is Queen Anne. Queen Anne is a hill just north of downtown Seattle, but literally like you come down Queen Anne Hill and you're at the Space Needle. So it's walkable in the sense of distance, but it's hard to walk in the sense of it's on a big hill. So I had a client that was looking there. She was pregnant, she was expecting a baby, and she was like, I don't know if I go out for a walk with the stroller, if it's gonna like run away down one of these hills. So again, thinking about your lifestyle, like, are you a power runner that does stadium steers? Like, you might love going on walks on this hill, but if not, then, you know, maybe you take the bus. There are a lot of other public transportation options because you are really close to downtown Seattle. And there are really a lot of nice, like, luxury view properties. You've got views of the water, Puget Sound, you've got views of downtown Seattle. And this is one of the areas that was inhabited really early on in Seattle's history. So a lot of the rich people lived on Queen Anne Hill, and they have these huge old Victorian houses. Some of them have been really nicely preserved, and you can live there on the hill and have a view of everything and the fresh ocean air, and it's really nice. So this is, I would say, more of a luxury neighborhood, both because of the proximity to the water, the proximity of downtown, the level of nice homes that are preserved historic homes, but there are certainly like affordable condominiums here that you can buy. There's a fair amount of high density stuff, again, because it's close to the city and people want to live where it's close. But I would say Queen Anne is really famous for these historic homes and picturesque views of like the Space Needle. We used to have the Sonics basketball. I think now the hockey center is what that building is being used for. There's a little stadium down there. But the neighborhood combines like sophistication with charm. There's Cary Park, where you can capture stunning skyline photos. This is like, you know, it's on one of the Walks books, Walks of Seattle. It's where you would go as a tourist. They have binoculars installed so you can look out, you know, put in a quarter and look out over the water and everything like that. There's boutique shopping, upscale dining, and kind of a small little downtown, couple of blocks of shopping right there. But it's perfect for folks who really want to be close to downtown Seattle and have that convenience. But it's a residential, kind of quieter, semi-urban area. It doesn't feel like you're in downtown Seattle. It's pretty clean, I would say, but it's super close to downtown. I think that's the main thing of it. Close, luxurious, nice. And last but not least, we can't forget South Lake Union, the neighborhood of the moment, right by Amazon and Google. And this is a huge area that's been getting developed by all these tech companies. It actually the development got started by Paul Allen, the co-owner of Microsoft with Bill Gates. He's dead now, but he had done years of development work to take this kind of low grade, like low height, 2-story building area, which a lot of like old manufacturing buildings that were kind of no longer useful, and he changed them all over and rezoned it. It's called the Denny Regrade, and now has built taller, nicer, new, almost everything is new there, and there's a lot of office capacity. So Amazon doesn't put signs on their buildings, but that's where a lot of their offices are. So there are restaurants, there are food trucks, there are offices, and there are condos all in this area. So I personally go there to walk around Lake Union. They have a nice walking and biking trail. There are houseboats there. So if you want to live in a houseboat, we can help you with that too. Just like MacGyver or Sleepless in Seattle. Those I think are two famous houseboat pop culture movie call outs. And then they also have like boats that you can rent. So if you want to go paddle boarding, kayaking, canoeing, I like to pick up a boat there, especially like if I have out of town guests, we'll go boating. We'll rent a boat together. It's probably like $35 an hour for a 2-person boat. And then we can go boat around the houseboats, which are beautiful. Like a lot of them are painted in really vivid colors. You can go across the lake and see ships that are like in dry dock getting repaired, or little scuba divers are going down and repairing them. And you also have Gasworks Park across the lake from there in kind of the Wallingford Fremont area. I would say north, more like North Lake Union. Is that right? So anyway, there's a lot of lake stuff happening. The MoHi is there, which is the Museum of History and Industry, which is in the old naval building. It's a white building with columns. It's very cool, colonial style. They have a fountain there. You can go to the Center for Wooden Boats. I believe you can rent a boat there for free and paddle around. It's just a small area, but you can experience a wooden boat. And then the new Google office in Seattle is right across the street from there. So very, very urban, but with some nice amenities. Like I'll see people walking on the trail with their ear pods in, doing a business call or something like that. So it's kind of a nice place to get out and get some sun and get some fresh air, but still be right in the mix for work or for living if you live there. I had another client who had a condo on Lake Washington, and he had a deck that looked out over the lake, and he called it the party deck. And he said he probably massively overloaded it beyond safety codes, because he would have these big parties and everyone would come and watch like fireworks for the 4th of July or New Year's and Blue Angels and stuff like that. There's a lot of city kind of civic activities that take place in and around Lake Union. And so if you have a nice view of that, you can take advantage of those. So there are condos here. I'm seeing nice new construction stuff going in this area. And also a lot of older buildings from the 60s or 70s or whatever. You're not gonna get a big yard. It's pretty high density, as with much of Seattle, but it's certainly very popular as well. So before we wrap up, if you're finding this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button and like button and let me know that you're here and you're watching. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm a small business owner trying to help you guys out if you're thinking about moving, and I'd love to get any feedback or questions that you have. Sometimes some of my videos, a lot of people will share their own experiences with living in these different areas, and if that's you, I'd love to have your memories or your recollections and so forth. So I want to thank you for joining me on this journey through some of the best neighborhoods in Seattle proper. Each area offers something special and different, so I encourage you to explore further, watch my videos on these different neighborhoods, and if you have more questions or want more information, leave a comment or visit my website at homeproassociates.com. I'm Emily Cressey, and I'm here to help you make Seattle your new home in whatever way that works best for you. So don't forget to subscribe and look for future videos, and until then, I will see you on the next video.